Hey everyone, this is Josh Galvin from Tizish.com, and on this video tutorial I'm going to show you the advanced usage of creating contact forms, and I'm going to show you all the other fields and how to set up notifications so that way when someone fills out one of your contact forms they end up getting an automatic email response, and you also end up getting emailed all their contact info. So I'm going to show you both of those items. So I'm going to continue using the same form I did on the previous demo, and I'm just going to go ahead and go to edit just to keep this consistent. Alright? And now the whole intention of this tutorial right at this part 1 is to show you these other fields you aren't familiar with. Alright? And then same thing with any advanced fields. Actually, these are pretty self-explanatory, so you could just click on these and they do exactly what they say. But the standard fields I want to explain. So let's just start deleting these. Actually, I want to start deleting these and just showing you all the regular fields. Okay, this might take forever to delete. Let's delete one more and then we'll leave it. Okay, so let's say if this is your form. Okay, if this is your form, I'm gonna click each of these one at a time and show you what each of them do. Okay, so the first one, single line text. When I click on that, here's what it does. It creates a blank line. It's called untitled. You would use this single line text if there's a form field. Maybe there's something that isn't one of these. Maybe you don't need a name field, date field, time field. Maybe you want to have something that says like, how did you find us? Let's say that's the field. In that instance, there is no how did you find us button anywhere. So what you're going to have to do is use single line text, click here on edit, and just change this to how did you find us? And obviously I use that as a question. Whatever your form field is, you would use single line text for any field not in here. That's the main point. And choose it whether you want it required or not. Always choose which one you want. Be aware that required makes them do it. Unrequired means they could ignore that question. You have to decide which ones are important. So that's the single line of text. Paragraph text we already covered. That's just the big paragraph that you could change this to questions or comments. That was on the other tutorial. Now let's show you the following. Drop down. These are your drop down menus. You see these? So these are very easy to use, and these work just in the same way checkboxes work, and same thing in multiple choice. So see that here's the drop down box. When you click on edit, same thing, we put the title. I'll just call it drop down box. And now for your options, it's as straightforward as this. You know, first choice, let's say drop down, let's say homes. I'm just making up words. Second one, listings, and let's see another one, foreclosures, let's say. And now if you want to add more, you click on plus, and if you want to delete some, you click on minus, and this just creates one of those drop down menus with choices. Alright, and you can make this required or not. Alright, so that's how you use this item. Now same thing with, I'll get to the checkboxes shortly. So when you click on number, this is just basically it's a number field. I mean, nothing really fancy about this. It's just basically a minimum to maximum type of range. Like, meaning, let's say there's something like 400 to 500. If for some reason you have a number field you want them to fill out with the minimum maximum, maybe like the price range or something they're looking for, you could use number. So I just made a minimum 400 to 500 as a range. So when I click on close, when they see this form, it's going to have those kind of features. I kind of skimmed over that one because you won't really use that. But anyhow, moving on to the next one, checkboxes. This one's just like the drop down. When I click on edit, it works in the same exact way. I could put a title here, change the name of our drop down checkbox choices, and then add more by clicking plus, or minus, take away some by clicking the minus sign. And of course, make this required or not. Alright? And then the next one is your multiple choice. And that's going to function in the exact same way as the checkboxes. I think the point is becoming clear how simple this is. You could choose a title, change your checkbox multiple choice options, click plus or minus, and choose to make it required. Same thing. And now the next one called section break. This is basically a divider. You see this? Let's say you have two sections of your form. One of them says, you know, regular contact info, and then the second one says details. This is just a divider, meaning, so when I click on edit, let's say now I have like personal info, which means now my form is being divided from the top section up here, which might be request a home value. Maybe you'll make a section break called property information. So I just now clicked on section break. So let's say I want to make one called property information. And I want them to enter that first, right? So to make our form easier, I'm going to take property information, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to hold my mouse click down, and I'm going to drag it up. I'm going to drag it up to the top of my form, and all I got to do is just literally, I'm just dragging it into place, and I'm saying here's the first section of my form, property information. Then you can put in all your property details here, and then the next section would be personal info, and then what you would fill up next would be name, email, phone, and that's pretty much it. So that's what the section divider does. It just divides your contact forms into easy readable sections. Alright, and then the next two of hidden and HTML, I'm not going to go into those specifically because those are kind of confusing and they're more advanced usage that you won't need them. Same thing with HTML. If you do have questions with HTML, just ask us directly by emailing me at training@tizish.com, and I'm more than happy to make a tutorial for you. But basically, all you do is, this is an HTML block, meaning let's say if you want to add code into your form, right? Well, you could make a title that says like something like, anything. Let's say you want to include an image with your contact form. You know, some kind of image, maybe your logo, your company logo. Well, you would put that, you would use HTML, and you would put the entire HTML coding here. We have other tutorials, and just ask us if you want to know how to do that, alright? So that's what these boxes are for. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one now, because the HTML is one that is not important. So now, let's say you want to actually add notifications now. So we update the form, and now I see right here, set up email notifications. You know, this is going to be on another tutorial. So that's everything for what these fields are all about. The next one is on setting up email notifications. I'll resume it right here. Alright? So that's everything for this tutorial. If you have any questions, email me, Josh Galvin, at training@tizish.com. Well, that's everything for this tutorial. Take care.